it's a theme that's moving. Speaking from project number 7, research your topic, from the Competent Communicator Manual, with the title of her speech being, Say Cheese. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Ann Ruege.
Don't start my time yet. The title of my speech is actually 7%. 7%. 7% is the percentage of women who negotiate their salary. Compared to men, the percentage of men is 57%. Let's think about that. Only 7% of women negotiate their salary versus 50% of men. Do you negotiate your salary? Have you always negotiated your salary? Anyone? Great, that's wonderful. That is wonderful. I've not always negotiated my salary, especially for my very first job. I was just thankful that somebody wanted to hire me. Because women don't negotiate their salary, that means that over time, over the lifetime of their career, they're missing out of over $500,000 compared to men. And if we as women don't negotiate our salary for our very first job, then we're setting ourselves up for a lifetime of less money. Fellow Toastmasters, all Toastmasters, no guests today, I'm going to share with you some tips today on how to negotiate your salary. I am businesslike today, Kara commented. I am in for business. Because I believe that not just women, all of us should be negotiating our salary. Because we are worth a lot. And we should all be getting what we deserve. So let's set this up. Say I'm offered a job. Let me start with one tip. Number 1, use your resources. You have people resources, right? For me, if I'm offered a job, one of the first things that I do is I turn to my own personal board of directors. These are my friends and family and some trusted colleagues. You can also go to a career coach, some of your very trusted people, because what you need to do is you will share with them the salary that you were offered. I'll give you a personal example. My friend Ellen a few years ago was offered a position, and she shared with me her salary. I've been through this many times negotiating salaries. So typically when you're offered a salary, you want to counter the offer a lot because they'll typically meet you in the middle. And that's what we did. We countered the offer, we'll say it was $50,000, we countered it with 70 because then they'll meet you in the middle with 60. And that's what they did. So use your resources, use your people resources. Online, there are many resources, such as a website called She Negotiates. It's free. It also works for men. So use your resources. My second tip is to know your value. There are online resources for this as well. PayScale and Glassdoor are great resources for you to figure out what is your true market value. No matter what industry you're in, whether you teach college, whether you are in government, there are many online resources for you to figure out what your actual value is. I was recently talking to my manager because, as Jean said, this comes up in my work life a lot because I'm on the hiring team. And I was talking to my current supervisor about this, and she shared with me a story where this came up. She had, a while ago, she had recently received her master's of social work degree. And she was applying for many different jobs. There was a position that she really wanted, and she applied for it. It required an MSW. The salary that was listed was very low. We'll say $25,000. And for somebody with an MSW, that's pretty low. But she applied anyway. And she made it known that the salary would not work for her. She went through the process, and she was ultimately offered the job with that very low salary. She countered the offer more than double because she said, I really want this job. I will do this, 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 and this for you. I am worth this amount because of all this proof that I have for you, because this is my current market value. And she ultimately did get the job because she advocated for herself. And part of her role is advocacy. As a social worker, you have to advocate for your clients. And the hiring manager told her that she was the only person that advocated for herself and for more money, and she knew that then she would advocate for her clients. So she got the job. So think about that. In certain roles, in sales, in social work, you have to advocate for yourself and you have to sell yourself as well. So that is a good point. So know your value. My third tip is to be willing to walk away. If you are not meeting that mark, that salary mark, be willing to walk away. The job that I currently have, I had a mark that I had to hit, right, for salary. Early on in the interview process, they knew the mark that I wanted to meet, right? When they offered me the job, it was lower. And I knew that I had room to negotiate, right? Because they knew I wanted to make $200,000. That's a joke. I work for a nonprofit. That's nowhere near what I make. But it was much lower, so I knew that I had a lot of room to negotiate, right? So when I countered their offer, they met me exactly where I wanted to go. So just make sure that you meet your mark. And I was willing to walk away because I need to make enough money to pay the bills for myself and my dog. And otherwise, I'm not going to be able to survive. So just be willing to walk away. And if you know your value, then you can walk away because there's somebody else that will pay you for your work. So these are 3 simple tips for you. Use your resources. Use your people resources. Do some groundwork. You'll feel so much more confident if you do. Know your value. You'll feel so much more confident when you do get into that salary negotiation. And be willing to walk away because you deserve to make as much as you're worth. Let me leave you with a quote from one of my very favorite businesswomen, Donna Corleone. Make them an offer they can't refuse.